All right, well, moving on now. Wednesdays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm women's group, Common Ground.
Common Ground is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. In this segment, we hear from Common Ground volunteer Anita Keys from Ellesmere, that's in Cherry County, on some important reminders when it comes to canning.
Well, it is canning season for many. Many people are thinking about food preservation this time of the year. And joining me now with more is Anita Keys. Anita, what do you have today?
Yes, 'tis the season, and I think people are a little more conscious of, where their food comes from. They want it to be as natural as possible. And hello, if you raised it or bought it at your local farmer's market and you choose to can it, you know what's in it. There's just a few things I want to make sure people understand. You must use a boiling water bath or a pressure cooker if you're going to preserve it for a long period. Obviously, other sources are you can freeze it or you can dehydrate it. And if you're using a pressure canner and it has a dial on it, it's like a round dial, that should be tested every year. And to get that tested, contact your local extension office. Adjust for altitude. And I live in Cherry County, so we're at like 3,000. So we have to add 5 minutes to any time you do a boiling water bath, or you add 2 pounds of pressure anytime you do a pressure cooker. Another thing that I want to consider is headspace. Okay, and because I was doing this demo, I got this fun little gadget, which, hello, I've kid for all these years and never had it, but they had it at Walmart the other day. And so I'm like, oh, that'll be fun. So, okay, so the headspace is the space between the food product and the lid. And so this has a little hook on it. Okay, and it should be 1 inch for like anything that's in the meat or vegetables. So that's a little full even there. When it comes to tomatoes, those should be a 1/2 inch. Any kind of fruits. And another rule is the liquid should cover the product. And of course, I'm looking through my cellar this morning trying to find one that's perfect. It's kind of hard to do, which I understand. Then when kids come for 4-H, pickles, relishes, those should all be 1/2 inch. And it has to do, it needs that space in there. And if you can much, you probably know sometimes it comes out the edge and then it won't seal on you. And this, I just did this morning, is elderberry jelly or this is juice, and that should just be 1/4 inch. And jams and jellies also should be 1/4 inch. And most of the times people don't, or you just make it so you use up your jelly. And then be sure to label everything. Freezing, cut them into uniform pieces. Be sure to blanch them. That stops any growth or any bacteria. So that means heating them up, and that can be done in the microwave. And then you cool it on a flat layer. And the picture I've got here shows choke cherries. It was on a flat sheet, airtight containers, label and rotate. Okay, so get them used up. If you need more information, the best place to go is just contact your local extension office. Cottage food training is another thing, and this is a Nebraska deal. And go to cottagefoodlaw.unl.edu, and they've got all kinds of information on there, like where you can sell. This is if you're wanting to market your canning.
All right, Anita, and you're coming back with a recipe to share. Actually, you're doing some jelly for us, and we'll see you in a few minutes.